I'll preface this video by saying if you want to see the correct way to do this, skip ahead to 3 minutes and 5 seconds. I, first of all, made the blunder of just diving into this and thinking everything had to come out from the front. And then I went and found somebody who gave directions that went beyond what they were supposed to do.
So the first step in replacing the bulbs with brighter LED ones is to remove the 4 screws up in the corners. So I've done that. Now we'll pull out the panel and see what comes with it. So to go back, the first thing to do is to remove the panel that screws to the underside of the dash. It is laying there. 7 millimeter. Yeah, 7 millimeter. There are 2 screws under here, 2 on the other side, and then 2 going in at an angle. So with that out, and with the 4 screws out that hold that bezel on, it just comes out. The reason that bottom one needed to come out first was that there are clips or ribs, tabs, there we go, tabs that had to go into slots, and it made more sense to get that bottom panel out of the way. So the next thing now will be to remove the hex head screws that hold the gauge package in. So I did some research when I couldn't get the clear plastic panel off. And yeah, there's more to this replacement than I had expected. Not that it's going to stop me. The person who did it online, and I'll try to remember to put a link to their video because it was helpful. Torque screws on top, torque screws coming in there, then underneath that panel, which comes out, a couple of 10 millimeter screws, and then there are screws back underneath there that have to come out as well. He had the steering wheel off. I'm hoping I don't need to remove the steering wheel, but we'll see how we get with those screws out. The lower ones, 10 millimeter, then 7 millimeter, and then the Torx. And note that these have got washers under the washers under the head, and all 5. Those 3 and the 2 that were back there all are the same. This is how you make a project more difficult than it needs to be. All I had to do, and I guess the other guy thought he had to go farther. Anyway, all you have to do is remove that cover. So 5 Torx screws, and it exposes the back of the gauges. And then each bulb is held in with this rotate out socket. So, and then yeah, just a little twist and it's out. So it was way overkill. So in retrospect, in summary, do not go through all of the screw removal, the Torx and the 10 and the 7. You don't have to remove the gauge. You just need to remove that cover. So I think I'll just remake this video. No, I won't remake. I'll keep this other part in here for frustration's sake. But yeah, pretty straightforward. So back to replacing the bulbs. Rodney Dickman, who's who I got these brighter bulbs from, also included a map to the backside. So there are more included in the kit. Were 7 new bulbs to illuminate the gauges. A is one of them. It's the tack illumination. I've done that one. F is the next one for the temp gauge. Now notice that there are some other locations here. There are other bulbs that aren't necessary to replace. So I haven't gone for those. I'm following the map here of what they're indicating. So the next one I'm up to here is J, and J is the one opposite what I just replaced on F along the top. So maybe I'm justifying going to the extent that I did in terms of removing the hardware necessary to hold the gauge cluster in place, because it did allow me to slide it backwards, which gave me a little more space to work in there. You could probably have done what I just did without doing that, but I took advantage of the fact that everything was loose. Now it's time to put all the screws back in place. All right, got pretty good nighttime viewing of gauges thanks to the new bulbs.